Hello and welcome to this video on plagiarism. This video is based on the Plagiarism Research Guide available on the Clarkson University Library website, which references several sources for definitions and resources to help you avoid plagiarism. When you are conducting any kind of research and reporting on that research, it is vitally important that you cite your sources. If you do not, you run the risk of plagiarism, a violation of Clarkson's Code of Student Conduct that would be handled through the academic integrity procedures. This is a definition of plagiarism from Merriam-Webster's dictionary. To plagiarize is to steal and to pass off the ideas and words of another as one's own. There are several types of plagiarism, not just word-for-word use of another person's works without credit. However, that is the first type of plagiarism, direct plagiarism. Self-plagiarism is when you use your own previous works without citing that original paper as a source. The third type is mosaic plagiarism, using synonyms or slight variations in the words, phrases, or concepts of a source without citation. And finally, there is accidental plagiarism, when someone either forgets to cite a source or uses an incorrect citation. While this is not intentional, it can still result in serious consequences as a student and a professional. There are several ways to help avoid plagiarism. Ask yourself, did I know this without having to look it up? Are there data or images I did not produce? Is this an idea from someone else? You do not need to cite your own thoughts or common knowledge. To avoid any of these types of plagiarism, it is very important to keep records of your sources and the information that you find there. Read the entire source work, not just sections, and take detailed notes as you read, including highlighting or directly quoting word for word notes and including the page number and date you accessed a source. If you're not sure whether something would be considered plagiarism, just ask. You can ask a librarian by emailing us here at Clarkson or contacting us through the Ask Us 24/7 chat, contacting the Writing Center, or asking your professor. Remember, if you're not sure if you should cite something, cite it anyway. There are three ways of referring to a source: direct quotation, paraphrasing, and summarizing. Direct quotation is taking an entire phrase from a source, though this does not necessarily mean using an entire sentence. Even duplicating a portion of a sentence requires citation if it is identical to the original source's phrasing. When directly quoting, make sure that the author's meaning does not change. You should use direct quotation when the phrasing used by the source author is important and cannot be captured by paraphrasing or summarizing. Quotation can be used when analyzing text, especially in literature or humanities research. It's best not to rely completely on direct quotation, as you want to demonstrate a deeper understanding of the source material. When quoting a source, use quotation marks around the text. Inline citation should be included based on the citation style that you're using. Check out the Citing Sources Research Guide on the library website for more details on what is required for different styles, or take a look at the citation and citation style guides video. Here's an example of a direct quotation. This is the original text, and this is an inline quotation using a portion of the original text. As you can see, it includes the page number. Paraphrasing provides more details than a summary and involves changing both the sentence structure and the language of the original text by translating the ideas into your own words. The resulting phrasing should not be significantly shorter than the original text, but should also not include only minor changes, like using synonyms for words. Instead, you should fully ingest the message of the phrase and restate it in a way that captures the full meaning. Because the resulting phrase is not something you came up with, you should still credit the original author by citing the source. Take a look at this example of paraphrasing from a LibGuide from the University of Newcastle in Australia. The important components that make this paraphrase successful are the sentence structure and vocabulary have changed, but technical terms stay the same. There's also a citation provided at the end. And finally, summarizing means putting the main idea of a phrase or concept into your own words in a shorter format than the original text. Summaries can provide background information on a topic when additional detail is not necessary. As these do not use any direct quotation, you do not need quotation marks around summaries. However, you should still attribute the information to the source where you found it. This example of summarizing uses the same original text as the paraphrasing example, but highlights the differences between these two strategies. The summary is shorter than the source text, but provides the same broad information by including only the main points. The word choice is different for the summary writer, but technical terms do not change. As always, the original text is cited, and the author is referenced when summarizing their main points. Remember, the only knowledge you do not need to cite are your own ideas and common knowledge. Common knowledge refers to information that is stated in multiple sources in a consistent manner. If you can find it in 3 to 5 sources with basically the same verbiage, it's likely common knowledge. However, opinions and unique terminology do not qualify as common knowledge. There are additional videos in this series regarding citation styles, building your citations, and managing the sources used in research. Please see these videos to learn more about how to accurately cite your sources.